Hey everyone, well, we've got another project car on the property today in our recently acquired shop. This is a 98 Volkswagen Beetle 2-liter 4-cylinder automatic. Belongs to a friend of mine, and the reason why we have it today is the radiator blew out on it. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's the original radiator that was in it when we got the car. And the problem we've got is they hit something. Don't know what. There's a damage down there from what it hit, and that caused the rear of the radiator to torsion inwards towards the engine. There's the damage from the radiator fan striking it, but the problem is right there. When the radiator flexed in, this whole top neck torsioned and broke the plastic tank on the top there. Lost all the coolant, so it can't be driven. So the owner purchased a new radiator and asked us to do the install, and we were in the process, or my friend was in the process of doing the install today. We came across a little snag which kind of has us stalled for a couple days, but in the event I decided to show you what's involved if you have a late 90s to early 2000 model Volkswagen Beetle and you need to replace the radiator or really do anything that is radiator involved. Believe me, you're in for a treat. So if you have to pull the radiator on your 98 Volkswagen Beetle or comparable car, all this has to come off before you can even get to the radiator. Now the instructions that we had says you do have to pull the fenders, but that is not quite necessary, though not far from it. You got to pull both of the inner fender covers off, followed by the headlights, and then you've got to remove the bumper skin, and then the rear or the front bumper itself. Also got some air cleaner components there. Once the front bumper with the bumper skin is removed, then you can remove the bumper shocks, and once you've gotten all that done, then you'll have a car that looks something like this. So here's what the car should look like once you have all of that removed. That entire unit that the radiator is mounted to comes off. It looks like you've only got a few bolts that holds it in place, but you can't even get to the radiator. You can't drop the radiator. The only thing you can just about do is drain the radiator without pulling all of that. Now the instructions did say to pull the fenders, and the sole reason why they said that is there are a couple of bolts up in here that you need to get to. Yeah, these hold on what? The bumper skin. So this is why they technically say you need to pull the fenders on the car, but you don't. It's just a little more tricky to do it without pulling it, but in any event, all that has to come off the front of the car before you can even get access to the radiator. This car clearly has been wrecked. Got some damage there. And although I'm not going to crawl around and wallow around on all those automotive fluids, eventually I will make a video showing that this car has an additional problem. Somebody hit something which punched a hole in the oil pan, and somebody attempted, poorly so, to JB weld it together. Well, suffice to say, the JB weld did not hold, and it has a substantial oil leak. So anyway, if you've got a Beetle that looks like this, 98, 99, 2000, possibly beyond that, and you ever have to pull the radiator, you better be prepared to spend some time on it, because all this has to come off before you can even think of dropping the radiator out from the front. In any event, we've got a broken piece on the radiator, which I might want to make a note of that. Goes on top of the radiator. There it is. This actually mounts to the top of the radiator right here. Goes on just about like that. Okay, like that. And that allows your radiator hose to attach without kinking. You cannot put your radiator hose on the radiator without this, and unfortunately this is not an auto parts store part. This is listed as Volkswagen proprietary equipment, which means You're going to go back to the Volkswagen dealer, or you're going to go salvage yard hunting and hope you get lucky. So here's our hitch. We can't do anything until we replace that. We can't get the car back together until we replace that. And yes, my cell phone always wants to ring when I'm making a video. But anyway, that's what's involved. If you're good at tearing apart cars and you've got patience, then you can do it. If not, the shop says it's about a 2.5-hour job. So anyway, we'll give you an updated video once we get the car back together and running. Comments welcome. Thanks for watching.